Thanks for checking out this episode of Presence Pulse, where we provide insights to help you reach and exceed your property goals. I'm Mark Kentwell, founder of Presence Real Estate, Projects and Property Management. And just a note that this is general information only, and you should get your own independent advice that takes into account your personal circumstances. Please enjoy the episode. This one's all about home staging. Will it add value to your sale price? Will it help you sell sooner? And what examples would you not need to stage your home? Well, first of all, what is home staging? Home staging is where we get in a specialist from a panel of people out there. They're kind of like got a bit of an interior design background a lot of the time, and they are getting the furniture that could suit your property the best, removing a lot of the time the furniture that's in the property and staging it with the right colors and themes and sizes to really optimize how your property presents in images and in person. Now, the most important part of it is the images. Think about it from a point of view of a clothing website. So much clothing now is purchased online. And if it was just a picture of a two-dimensional t-shirt on a white background versus a model walking through of various body shapes and sizes with different colors on of that particular garment, you'd have a better chance of feeling comfortable to go and purchase that. Now, when it comes to home staging, it's very similar. The image is going to be seen several hundred times, even thousands of times more than the actual buyers coming through the property. So it's all about getting the top of the funnel where buyers are most aware of it through the promotion and marketing that you've done to be interested enough to go to the next stage of making an inquiry and then coming through the property. And with all the extra tools that are out there now with virtual tours and 3D floor plans and some of the other immersive tools that we've talked about in other Presence Pulse episodes, you can really optimize the experience of the prospective purchaser when they see your home in the first place. Can also take away a bit of that personalized feeling of it being your home versus the potential buyer's new home. They can imagine themselves in there and they can add their own flair to it later. Now, what does it cost? Well, staging, it depends on the size of your home and the quality used, and if you're going to use sort of original artworks or generic artworks. But to give you an example, like a 3-4 bedroom home will be around about $5,000 that you put aside in the budget. If you end up with some change out of that, fantastic. If you end up spending a bit more, you may have had lots more rooms or some higher standard required. Now, you can partially stage if you've got some rooms that are really great, or you just want to do your main living areas, for example. And you can also really pull the budget back where necessary for the more affordable price points. But to give you a bit of a guide, a lot of the experts, like whether it's Andrew Winter of Selling Houses Australia, whether it is John McGrath, who has been on many TV shows, Tom Panos, who specializes in real estate advice and marketing, a lot of these specialists talk about using 0.5% to 1% of the property's estimate value on your staging and marketing campaign. So for $1 million property, that we're talking about $10,000 to $20,000 in look and feel stuff like staging and the marketing combined. Now, this is not the agent's fees. This is like the contribution that the owner's making to really making it stand out. And if you've already got designer furniture through the whole home and it's all brand new and perfect, then it's absolutely not necessary, of course. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, 0.5% to 1%. Sounds like a lot of money to shell out when you don't even know if you're going to sell. Well, of course, it makes more sense if you are motivated to sell and you have a realistic price guide, but it can help you optimize the price, because we know that when things are going well in a negotiation, the price can go up by 2%, 4%, 6%, 8%. In some auctions, it can run away 10, 15, 20% more. So spending 0.5% to 1% on the property's staging and marketing campaign could be one of the best investments that you make. And if it's a home that you live in and you have it as your principal place, then that's a tax-free outcome you're getting from investing that amount of money. So whether it helps you sell quicker, whether it helps you just get the price it deserves, or whether it helps you get more money, it is a very strong and compelling argument for using home staging. But what are some examples of when you wouldn't use home staging? Well, the ultimate one is when you have a property that is not really one that needs to be conveyed in that way. It might be a knockdown by the beach. It might be a home that clearly needs a big renovation. It might be something that's much more focused on the land and the dwelling is a lower part of it. But a key one that's not often thought of is pre-market or off-market listings. See, a lot of the time when someone's considering selling, they want their house perfect before they have any buyers through. Now, a big part of that is because the advertising is used to attract the buyers. Whereas when you're working with a full service tier 1 company like Presence Real Estate, with a proper database where there is tens of thousands of buyers being updated by tens and tens and tens of people on a regular basis, they want to hear from us and the relationship is strong, those buyers have already been through all the filters. We don't need to worry about so much about whether they're going to be appealed by the picture, because they're already in the system. We've already got the contact details and we can reach out to them directly and let them know that something matching their criteria could be available in a pre-market or an off-market way, not available to the rest of the public through all the normal means. Now, those people, especially if they've been looking in a specific or tightly held area, they may be looking for an address with a property of a certain size that can match their requirements for now, or an investment that matches their requirements. They're past the point of being needed to be attracted to the advertising, and they're more interested in seeing something in the exact criteria that they are looking for. So those buyers have already been through many other campaigns. It's sort of like the other owners that have come before you have actually kind of paid for your staging because they've attracted the inquiries. And this is why pre-market with Presence Real Estate in particular is becoming so popular, because an owner can actually save the $5 or so grand on staging and maybe $5 or $7 grand on a big marketing campaign. Of course, you can do it much less than that. You can market your home for in the hundreds of dollars. But if you're going for it on the recommendations of 0.5% to 1% by some of the industry experts, you could save that in a pre-market sense, because you're dealing with a more qualified buyer that is more interested in the address and does that home or property suit their needs. So there's a couple of bits of information on that. Like always, there's from $0 right through to the absolute grand package that you can do with this. We cater for all of that at Presence Real Estate. But if you want specific advice on what works for you in relation to your property, you can jump on to our instant online estimate tool, type in your address, get some information on what's happening with the potential sale value of your property, even without a visit from an agent up front, whether it's an investment or your home. And then we can reach out, speak to you, give you more detailed advice. And if you want to have an in-person consult, they can give you a strategic plan as to whether you would do staging, do pre-market first, or whatever might suit you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We look forward to helping you achieve your property goals.